Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.
Welcome back. Again, see, I think our intros, we're getting better. We are definitely getting better here. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. But today I'm excited. I like your orange, by the way. Look at all that orange.
I appreciate that. Yeah, these are Wonder Woman glasses.
They are.
They are Wonder Woman. I was just feeling like more Wonder Woman-ish today, so I decided to throw them on.
But I like how you have like color cord your glass. You have like do you have like a snap-on kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
You have
They're like the best ever. Like I have probably 50 different, and actually I have a couple different, like these are different sizes and different ones that go on the front even. Like, yeah, it's so like
you can even interchange all the colors just to ensure that you're matching.
On.
Oh, you can even put them on top.
Oh, you can stack them if you want or whatever. And like, oh, this is the real McDeal. Like right here. Don't get me started.
Of course you would find those. But I'm excited today because there is like when it comes to just kind of the phones, like you were always just insane with being able to like kind of transition right to your objection, then transition right back. And I think it's like, it's funny because we have like this big kind of virtual office where we get to go in and listen to people kind of live dialing, and you'll hear them kind of like handle objections. And it's always they always say something different every single time. It's like, hold on. I think we get like 5 or 6 different objections every single time. And it's like, people need to know exactly what to say. And I think you're going to have the perfect recipe here for today's episode. So I'm pumped. If it's one of those where it's like you're driving and listening to this, it's one of those where it's like, I definitely listen to it, but then re-listen to it later with a kind of a pen and piece of paper in hand. So then that way you can really take note of some of the stuff that she's gonna be covering here. So I'm pumped for objections, girl. Let's go. Let's do this.
So we didn't actually come up with a name of this one. Objections, something. We got to come up with that.
Okay, I will. I'll think of something, I promise.
All right. So here's the thing that is important, okay? Number one, if you have rebuttals, like or questions, FAQs, if you don't have them memorized, that is your homework. Okay, that's like you've been given the answers to the test. And I always ask agents, like, if I were to pay you $100,000 to memorize these answers, would you do it?
Yeah.
And then how quick, right? Like, the thing is, if you don't have them memorized, you have to get them memorized. If you want to get paid like a professional, you got to act like one. In my call center days, we would go home with 3 a night, and I test them on them the next day. If they didn't know them, I'd send them home.
Yeah. And
they do 3 more, and then they do 3 more. So even in a week, if you do 3 a day, 3 times, you could do almost 30 objections in a week. Right. So that right there, put them on cue cards. Like, this is like you're getting your PhD in this. Okay. You can make doctor level money with an insurance license by doing this stuff. So I could go on a soapbox even more about that, but some of you guys are going to be like, I don't have objections. What are you talking about? I don't have answers. Go to your mentor and ask them the things you're hearing on the phone, write it down, record it, and then transcribe it. There's your stuff you now have to memorize, okay? But it's not that hard. And John, what you're saying, that people are like giving all these different answers, how can you ever be consistent at something when you don't do it the same?
Yeah.
So that's important, right?
It's spot on too. And like, here's the thing with memorization of those. Number one, like you kind of need that like barometer. Like, is it when I use a rebuttal to an objection, is it going to work 3 out of 10 times? If that's the case, like, give it to me. Because if I'm getting this rebuttal 10 times and I can turn a client 3 out of the 10 times, I want that.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to kind of track too. But number one, like, the memorization is so important because it's like you like, as soon as you hear it, like, you don't want to have to like lose your demeanor. You don't want to have to lose your position. You don't want to like You need to keep that posture and confidence. And if you don't know what to say, or you're saying something different every single time, how can you honestly have confidence or posture? And confidence and posture when setting appointments, I think is like the number one thing. I actually think it's like posture and confidence is like the number one thing in sales. And so if you don't have any posture or confidence, like, how are you going to do well? Right? So number one, number two, go ahead.
Let me add on that, John, and you're absolutely right. So how do you, like, for someone like me that I don't consider myself like a gifted salesperson, what happens is you get confidence when you know things, when you've mastered them, right? So by memorizing, you're automatically going to be more confident. And here's the second thing. Once you have those objections, those answers, have them up where you can see them. If you're making phone calls, I wrote the objections and I still look at them when I'm dialing. So why in the world, John, would I look at rebuttals that I wrote when I'm dialing? When someone asks me a question, why would I do that? I know I have blonde hair, but like, what was the other reason that I would do that?
You know that I have blonde hair.
No,
so it's not a knock to all the blondes out there.
just me. So here's the thing. If you're talking to a jerk face, right, which happens on the phone, right? It happens to everyone. I can say the exact same thing and be consistent on the phone and not let jerk face throw me off of what I need to do. Here's one rule I want you to write down is if once you start a rebuttal, you finish it. Don't let jerk face throw you off. You start that rebuttal, it goes from beginning to end, and then you go right back to script because the guy who's in control wins. The other thing, I know we talked about this on the dot episode, you don't, when someone asks an objection, go right into it. Do not pause, smile, right? That's going to make you sound confident. And you can do that when you have this stuff memorized easier. Smile, finish the whole darn thing, and then go right back to script or ask a question. One of the worst things in the world to do is to pause, say a rebuttal, go right to the end of it, and then you're like waiting for permission, like to hear what he says. So, hey, John, can you call me back? Actually, I only have 15 seconds worth of questions. Is that okay? That doesn't work.
No. Yep. So good, buddy. So good. Well, let's dive into a couple of them. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. You guys ready? Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? All right. So the first one, I think that is probably, we all get it, right? It's the same thing when you walk into like a car lot and someone says, hey, do you need help? What do you immediately say?
I'm just looking.
Just looking, right? Or you walk into a fancy store and the salesperson comes up. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. So on the phone, the knee-jerk reaction is, can you call me back? Everyone's going to say it. I don't care who it is, whatever. They're all going to say, can you call me back? So weak salespeople will say, sure, what time can I call you back? 5:30? Okay, great, John, put it in there. Guess what? You never talk to him again, right? So you never, ever take that callback request on the first. I always say you want to push at least twice. But the first thing you can do is you can deflect it, or you can say, wait, that's exactly why I'm calling, or I just have 15 seconds worth of questions and keep talking. How long did it take you to get this person on the phone to begin with? Don't let go of that. Okay. So you got to push at least twice. Do never give in to the first time someone asks you to call them back, ever.
And here's the thing too, Mer, understand this part of it is if they are truly busy, would they have answered the phone?
So if there's a screaming kid in the background, like that would probably be the only time, like if you could hear like some craziness, but you're absolutely right. Like it's just, they don't want to talk to you because they don't know who you are. Maybe Jeffrey Gitomer says it. If they say that they're not interested, it means we're not being interesting. And I'm like, oh, so we got to be interesting. They're going to try to get off the phone anyways. Make them be someone that they want to talk to.
Yep.
So they call you back. Do not do it. Do not do it. Right. Just a sec, John. I just have a couple of seconds of questions here and just keep on talking. Right. I've even said before, I'm not really set up for callbacks. I keep on talking. because your confidence is going to be what keeps them on the phone.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And it's the confidence in what, and it's also the confidence in knowing what to say, right? Just what we just said there a second ago.
Yep. Here's the other one that I love. Oh my gosh. Imagine following up on information that someone requested it, but they say they didn't do it. Does that ever happen where you like call someone and you say, hey, I'm following up on a request you made, and they say, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Like, here's what we're all doing. You are a lead generator. You are there to generate interest. I have heard the phrase that we're not here to generate interest. We're looking for interested people. I don't agree with that. People, like Jeffrey Gitomer says, if they're not interested, you're not interesting. Smile at the start of the call, right? I didn't request it. Our job is to remind them what in the world they did. John, what did you have for lunch last week on Tuesday?
I don't know.
You think these guys are going to remember something they did like last week or whatever? Like they're going to, or maybe they're in the middle of something. Like, give them the benefit of the freaking doubt, you know, and just remind them, hey, John, hey, my name's Miranda. You don't remember doing it? Oh, that's okay. I forget doing stuff all the time here. About a week ago, you blah, 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 and just keep on going. It's not that hard. What's hard is either that you buy their excuse and you let them go, or you make them interested by being excited, sounding like you know what you're talking about, and keep going, right?
Yeah, don't argue with him. Yeah, you did.
I forget doing stuff like that all the time. Oh my goodness. Maybe your spouse did it. But anyways, keep going. Because our job is to get through the first part of the call so they can decide if they're interested. If they're saying they're not interested at the start of the call, it's because you don't sound like excited or interesting at the start. Once you've made your proposal and reminder of why you're calling, if they want to be not interested, then that's different, because at least they heard you out and you had a shot, right, to explain it. But up until then, I'm just going to assume that they don't remember, and I'm going to keep on going.
Yeah. And when you're walking in with that mindset, like how much easier is it, instead of like, oh God, another one told me this? No, like if you're just expecting it every single time you're kind of talking or you're communicating with people, you're going to be ready for it as well. And so that's why I think it's like, go ahead.
So we are sitting here, we're in charge, right? We're the ones calling these people most of the time, right? In the outbound world, we're expecting these answers from them. They're not expecting our call necessarily.
Right.
So you have the upper hand. Don't let them like throw you off. I didn't do that. Okay. You would not have their stuff if they didn't do it, or somebody that like their spouse or something. It's impossible. Like, it's not like people that sit there like all day, like requesting things from other people. It's like, it doesn't happen. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. Anything you'd add to that, John, before I
No, go ahead. Yeah, just in lieu of time here, I'll let you
burn. This is one, I know I'm totally on like a rampage here with these things. How about if they don't even want to meet with you, because they just want you to email them the stuff? I love that one.
Yep. Can you just email me the quotes?
Can you just email me them? So we could, but we are not going to, right? How much freaking time do we spend preparing for these clients? Really? Like, I got back in the field after 6 years. It took me like 30, 40 minutes to figure out what to offer these people with life insurance. Okay. I'm going through agent guides and the whole 9 yards. So I really want to just email that to somebody and hope that they read my email and that they're going to call me and say, can I do an application? Right? Like, if you're going to spend 15, like, let's say 30, 40 minutes preparing for somebody to show them something, don't you think you deserve at least 7-10 minutes for you to explain it to these people? And that's really what I would say. We don't really do that. There's a lot of ways to do insurance these days. And I'm really going to spend a lot of time looking for options there for you, John. So we'll hop back on the phone or Zoom real quick and I'll explain that to you. It'll be real simple and really fast. People like things that are simple and fast. But we don't email these people stuff, man. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You're giving up all of the control and kind of all the power. That's what we always talk about, just kind of like on the sales side of it, is like, how did I used to say it? Like, I have something they need, or no, I have something they want. I don't know. But anyway, there's like a want need thing there. Some of you can get it. But either way, it's like, but seriously, that once you release that number, the presentation's over.
Yep.
They're going to listen to you into the entire time. A decision is made once the price has been presented. So it's game over, done, lights out. Like, that's it. You now, all control has been given up. So make sure that you hang on to that. That's so true.
And I would really say the last one is I want to check with my spouse. On a phone call, if you are in a system where you're requiring spouses together, don't call these people back on purpose, okay? Like, what you're going to do is set a time with the person you have on the phone that they know works for them and they think is going to work for their spouse, and then call back to double check the spouse. Or be like, hey, if I don't hear, call you, check with Jessica, John, and if I don't hear from you in 30 minutes, I'll assume we're good to go. But like, set the appointment with them based on the person that you have on the phone. That's the best you can do. Don't call them back. Callbacks, like, it's like the death zone, man. The death zone is calling people back. Don't do it.
Let's give them a quick example of it. Just a quick one.
Okay.
All right. So Miranda, yeah, that sounds good. But really quick, I need to check with Jessica to make sure that the time works for her.
Oh, I would love for you to check with her as well. Let's do this though, John. We're going to pick a time that you know works for you and one that you think is good with her. And then we'll confirm that it's definitely going to work for her. So just based on your schedule, was tomorrow at 7:35, was that like definitely good for you?
Yeah, that was a definite good for me. And I think it'll work for her as well.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is go through the entire rest of the appointment setting process, because we might not talk to him again, right? Like, we'll call the confirmer, but there's a chance that we might not connect before the appointment. So I'm going to go through everything. And then at the end, do a callback to set, I hate not even callback. It's called a verify spouse call, because we don't do callbacks up in here.
That's right. That's right. Well, love it. So many good takeaways. Just like I said, it's one of those to where it's like, go back, listen to it, have a pen out, write some notes down. Buddy, we appreciate you. Love the fact that you've gone through that. And then we're going to go through some kind of like objection stuff in the future as well, and kind of break that down when it comes to kind of the meeting with family side of it. So you guys know what to do. Click right here, maybe right here, or it's right here somewhere, but click the like, follow. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.